Hello, welcome to the Kibbles, Lace, and Tails podcast. My name is Sue, and I am a maker from northwestern Wisconsin. My daughter is home today, so if you see me looking off in this direction, it's probably because she's lurking about. She is done with school for the year. She is now becoming a high schooler. It's been a very busy week work-wise. I filled in a lot of extra hours, and the last days of school are always filled with lots of emotions, a lot of anxiety for some because they may not be going home for summer for a good reason. Some kids don't want to be there, which we have our own stories, and I'm sure that's common throughout the world, especially in America. Anyway, today was the last day for staff, and we had a retirement lunch, and I will very much miss our teacher who is retiring. She was a very strong staple, and she used to bring her dog in because it was a therapy dog, and it was just fun for years and years and years. And she took me under her wing when I first started working there and told me I was doing a great job. She was such an inspiration. And thankfully, she will be coming back next year to substitute, maybe not kindergarten or gym or music, she said, because those are really hard classes. So I did not get a lot done this week because I have been working a lot. We did a brat stand last Saturday for our 4-H group and earned $480 some to go to our scholarship fund. We all volunteer our time, and the money goes to our club, which we can then help pay for upcoming trips or camp or other things, like we do Spirit of Christmas, where we buy people presents that they have asked for through some organization. Anyway, okay. It's been a long day so far. After I got done with work, we had to run some errands, and I'm just kind of getting back into the flow of things. Now, my Dulce V-Neck drop shoulder sweater, I have finished the two front panels, and I finished the other front panel. I'm going to just hold it up like this. There's a nice V-neck. It's going to be a gradual V-neck, which I really like. And it's going to be kind of a longer sweater, I think. If it goes up here, I can't tell because I'm sitting down. Yeah, I will block this before sewing it together. I will be doing a ribbing around the whole neckline and up and down the sides. I believe I did a 1x1 rib down here. So I will do a 1x1 rib along the button band and collar. It is made out of Berroco Dulce, which is, I'm sorry. I was interrupted right before and I had to restart this, and so now I'm trying to remember what I said before. This is a brushed alpaca yarn. The core is cotton, nylon, and wool, and it is a braided core. Now, this line right here shows where the armhole starts. And then, I really booked on this last weekend. I really focused on this to get it done. I really want to get this sweater done because it feels like a kitten's belly. Oh my God, it's so soft and plush. This is a discontinued yarn. You can still buy Berroco off of some websites if you just search for it. It is kind of spendy. I got mine for a steal from Little Knit Seattle, but they do not carry it any longer. Now, when I got done with this on Sunday, I was like, yes, so happy. Took a shower, blah, blah, blah. Came out in the living room, and this was laying on the floor like it was my cat's kill. Normally, after I get done working on my stuff, I'm using this bag for it. It has some logo on there, I'm not going to show, but I will wrap it okay, like that. And then I will set it on its open end so the cats can't get in there. Well, someone, most likely Tallulah, because she loves this yarn so much, went in there, took it, and was over in her kill area where she, presents her things. Cats. If you know, you know. And I went, oh no. But looking at it, they did not snag the yarn. It was probably momentarily in their possession, and then I came out of the bathroom and they were like, oh no. So I did take it away from them and then promptly hid it in my Ziploc bag in my bin to keep it safe, because she's sassy. Now I am debating on the sleeve. I am using this book by Ann Budd, the Knitter's Handbook of Sweater Patterns. I am using, she's attacking the couch right now, being silly. I am using the drop shoulder pattern. I'm just trying to get to my notes. I think I put them somewhere else. Oh, here they are. So the back I used size 44 because I kind of wanted it to be big. This is the bust size, 44-inch bust size. But the fronts, I'm using the size 40 stitch count. And all length, I'm doing size 42. And the sleeves, I'm going to use the size 40-inch bust stitch count. Now, the reason I normally do like a 42, but I kind of wanted it to be kind of oversized, but then I realized I may have made it too big, so I sized down the front, and it should give me enough space because I'm going to put, I believe it's 1.5 inches of ribbing. Yes, 1.5 inches of ribbing, so each front is 10 inches across plus another 1.5 inches, so in total it'll be 23 inches across. I normally don't button up my cardigans anyway, so I think it'll all work out. Now, for my sleeves, I'm in a debating mode. The book here, I'm just going to show you. I have a little sticky from a, what do you call them? Post-it. Okay, so the stitch count for the sleeve, it starts at 50 stitches for a few sizes, and the end would be 100 inches or stitches. And if you see, I'm going to show a picture. This is an older book, so the styles have changed quite a bit. But as you can see in this drop shoulder picture, this sleeve is very tapered. Oops, very tapered. You can kind of see how it tapers, and then here, but I don't want that much of a taper. So I'm debating, do I start with like say 60 stitches and go up to 100, or do I go up to 100, start up top, because normally you work from bottom up with her patterns, but if I start up top at 100 stitches and see how it goes down my arm, and then do a rapid decrease at the end, which is the way I'm kind of leaning, because I keep thinking about how big I want the cuff. I don't want it to be really wide. On the last sweater I made out of this book, I decided I wanted a big wide sleeve, and I did the final stitch count all the way up, and I really like that sweater, but I want a different style for this one. So there's some debating about what to do. Now, in this book, she gives you all the schematics. So I've been looking at these. And as you can see, it is a tapered sleeve. And so I'm really kind of like, do I want that much of a taper, etc., etc. If you weren't really sure what to do, she has a section called Copycats. And then she gives you the pattern for those, and you can figure out your yarn and needle using her guidelines. I haven't ever made one of her patterns. I've just used her book. But there's personal touches for the edgings, so you can have your different types of ribbing. Each sweater is very, here's some more, is very customizable. That's why I like these books so much. And then, you know, you can go, well, I really like this, or I really like that. This book also has children's sizes as well. So once I figured out the sleeve, then wham bam, thank you ma'am, almost a sweater is done. Now, I am using this book to make another couple cardigans. And the second cardigan I'm going to talk about is using my Upcycle Alpaca in the color Titanium Sport Weight Knit Picks yarn. I am a Knit Picks affiliate. If you click the link in my description below, it'll lead you right to the site. And if you do decide to buy anything on that Knit Picks site, Knit Picks does give me a small commission for leading them that sale. It does not add anything to your cart. Knit Picks has a lot of sales all the time for various things, whatever you're looking for. Like, I needed to invest in some different types of needles. These are the Knit Picks Reflections lace set. I did get the needle bundle set, which gave me the regular reflections, the shorty reflections, and the lace set reflections for a really good price. It was on sale, and then I got another 25% off. Just, you know, just in the know. They do ship to Canada and the United States very easily. I'm not sure about overseas. Now, this was I think this is the fourth time I've casted this sweater on. I had originally started using my Knitter's Pride Dreams size 3 needles, and Dreams are the wood brand. I really like the Dreams. I've used them for many patterns. However, with this yarn, and maybe the warm weather and, you know, hand warmth, it was feeling, I could just like hear squeaking. It just was not smooth at all. It wasn't what I was expecting this yarn to be. I've used this yarn with a variety of needles. I've never had this problem before. So I originally was going to do a 3x3 rib. So I cast on, did a 3x3 rib, and then I did a few rows, and I looked at my work, and there was all these like holes, all these really big gaps. This is 1x1 rib. All these little gaps throughout the thing. Not consistently, not all the time, just oddly here and there. So I thought, well, maybe it's just me not paying attention. So I did it again, and I did it again, and it still had that same odd gapping. So, and then the more I used that section of yarn, which I cut off, the more worn out it became. And I just was like, oh no, did I choose wrong? And I thought, no, because I use this yarn for other things and it works just fine. But as you can maybe see, it's just looking really kind of haggard. I will use this to sew up the sweater, especially on like in the invisible join area where you won't really see it. But it was kind of, it has this beautiful twist to the yarn. It has this beautiful twist, and when you work with it, it kind of has these little soft bumps, and it feels really good to knit with. And I'm like, why? So I was looking at my knitting, I was looking at the needles. I realized that what problem I was having was the needles themselves and the yarn I was choosing to work with them. So I waited until I got this in the mail, and then I cast on using a size 2 this time. These needles have a nice smooth join. It's a stainless steel with a little bit of nickel. The nickel does not bother me, and it makes lovely minimal sound, not too much click click click, and also they're so smooth, and I can see That's another thing. I can see what I'm doing with the shininess of this needle. So when I get done with the ribbing, I'm going to size up to a size 4. Now, I am doing the I'm doing the set-in sleeve pattern with the Ann Budd book. And, well, there's my stuff. And I am doing size 42 bust stitch count for the body in the front, and size 40-inch bust for the sleeves and the length of the cardigan. Now, I was supposed to cast on 126 stitches, but I accidentally cast on 128 stitches and realized in my first row of stocking it, or my first couple rows of this 1x1 rib, that I cast on too many stitches. Too many stitches. So my first round or first row of stocking it, I will just decrease 2. It'll be easy. I decided to go with the 1x1 rib because it's classic, it's tidy, it's so pretty, and it's going well. This so far is about 1 inch. I have a cat here. It's about 1 inch. I'm thinking about doing 2 inches. I'm going to see what it looks like at 1.5 inches, and then I will count how many stitches I did in that amount, make a note of it in my notes, and then go on from there. With Ann Budd's book, I am doing, this is going to be a crew neck, and there are a variety of styles you can choose from in the basic pattern, V-neck or crew neck, and I found it earlier. But then she gives you some, like I showed with the edging, some choices with collars, personal touches. You can do shaping, you can do neck, different types of necks. I'm just looking for it just to show you. But with this pattern, I'm not finding it now. You know, it's always the case. You're looking for something while on camera and you can never find what you're looking for. However, as soon as I get off the camera, I could just show you. So it says personal touches, crew neck finishes. So you got the turtlenecks, you got collars, and then there's also V-neck ones. So you could have a higher collar, a regular one, etc. So I don't know, I think I'm just gonna do a regular crew neck. I don't want what do you call it? A turtleneck for this. I just want this to be a basic cardigan where I can take it on or put it on, take it off, put it on, take it off while at work, and that it'll match a variety of t-shirts. Because I wear t-shirts most of the time at work. The one thing about the reflection set that many people have issues with is that the lace set does not use the same cable as the regular or the shorties. I find that fine. It's, you know, because they're a different size needle. It just has to be a thinner cable. Plus, if you're using fingering weight yarn or lace weight yarn, you probably don't want a big honkin' cable for that project. So onward and upward with this one. Let's see. Yeah, that's about it with this. Now, like I said, I mostly worked on my Dulce V-neck cardigan, and then I started working on this one because I was excited to try out these needles, and I am pleasantly not surprised, because I knew they would be nice, but I'm pleasantly happy that they are working out so well. I did work on my lace cardigan sleeve. There's not really much to show because there isn't. I did work on my my cherry sweater. I got about 8 centimeters, a little over 8 centimeters done with the first sleeve, and I'm supposed to go to 18 centimeters. So I measured down here from the armpit. And I'm just going to keep working on this when I feel like it, which it has, yesterday I was working on it and I'm like, I should just try and get so much more done. And then my thumb started hurting. So I have to take it easy. And maybe that's what knitting is telling me. Knitting this garment is telling me, you can't just rush through life and just expect everything to be done lickety split. Time, it takes time. You should enjoy your time knitting it. You should enjoy the TV show that you're watching, or the YouTube, or the book you're listening to. Just enjoy, because one day it'll be done and then you'll miss it. That's what I'm telling myself. I may be deluding myself into believing it, but oh well. Now the last thing I'm going to discuss before no, I'm not doing too bad. Before this gets very long and I have to start over again, because I was about 20 minutes in when my daughter interrupted. It's new. This is all new. Usually I videotape by myself when I am at home after school. I am using this cable needle for my vegetable patch cardigan. It is a pattern from the Homestead Cables book from Knit Picks. They still have this in stock. It presently is 20% off. I love it. I've already made one pattern out of here. The Emery's cardigan. I've shown this one before. I'll show the back. The only thing I did wrong is make it too big. Otherwise, it's a lovely, lovely pattern. This is what the... Oh, I try not to get the shine. This is the vegetable patch cardigan. It is done in pieces. You use the same needle size throughout, and I am using my Knitter's Pride size 6 Zing. That's what I got gauge with. It calls for a size 8, but I was not getting gauge with that. You can look back at my old videos and it will tell you. I went into great detail, but I am using, this is wool of the Andes, Peruvian Highland wool, 100% in the color Shire Heather. And it is a mixture of blues, greens, golds, browns. It is squishy. It's lovely. It is working up into this beautiful, easy to memorize pattern. It is lovely. So I started, you can see my little stitch marker. That's how much I have done since the last time I've shown it. I have to get to 18 inches and I have another 6 inches to go, which I figured is about another 5 pattern repeats. It is a 8-row repeat. I don't remember how many stitches, but it's each, I think it's like this. Each, it goes from here to here. So it is lovely. Once I start working on this, I don't really even have to look at the pattern because I know what to expect, and it is so nice. And with these little unique details of just holding the yarn in front and slipping those stitches, I know I'm either on row 3 or row 7 in that row, because that's when those happen. Now, I have read through the pattern. I know the fronts are going to be more challenging than the back, so I'm enjoying this as a process. I know I haven't really worked on this too much, but when I put this in my lap yesterday and I was working on it, and I feel how nice and thick the yarn is, and I know on those days when I'm at school and it's like sub-zero outside, but we're still outside, I'm going to be wearing this under my coat, and I'm going to be like, yeah, I'm so happy. I am so happy. It's so pretty. Now, I've heard from Nicole from The Thread that, because she really likes Wool of the Andes yarn, and she says it's a workhorse yarn, and I agree with that. And it also has a tendency to pill in the stocking net versus cables. So I don't know how this will actually transpire after washing it and wearing it, because I've only used this wool in stockinette application so far. It has pilled, but all wool pills a little bit. And you know, it's the one pattern I used that is pilling more. It just has really kind of big dolman sleeves, and so it has a little bit of more rubbing than my circular yoke sweater. I just love this. So it's from this book. This book has a lot of different cable patterns. The designer of this, I believe, is, well, good thing I looked, Annie Howard. So it's a lovely, lovely pattern. It is fun to work on at night or in the like dusk and time periods where it's kind of dark in the house. You can't see it to save your life because it is a very deep, deep greenish, like forest moss. It's so pretty. So yes, these tips really do help. And this blunt tip for the Knitter's Pride Zing is okay to use in this cable pattern. If I was using a much more intricate cable pattern, I would not have used this needle. Period. I would have found something else. So that is about it. I am starting summer school tomorrow. It's a work day for staff where we get all the copies ready and all the rooms situated and go through like what our schedules are going to be and who we're working with. And this year, this is my third year of working summer school, and this year quite a few of my coworkers from my school, because there's 6 elementary schools in the district, and a lot of my coworkers are going to be working over at a different school, because they switch between 3 of the schools, because 3 of the schools have AC and 3 of the schools, I believe, do not. Wait, 4 of the schools now have AC. Yes, because one of the schools was very old and they rebuilt it, so that's our 4th school. So we switch off every 4 years now. So next year it'll be back at my school, which will be really nice because I know where everything is. So it will be a fast and furious 3 weeks, and it's only in the mornings, and a lot of my students will be going. I asked certain ones if they were going to be there, and they kind of like, yeah. I'm like, cool, I want to be there too. It is a lot of fun. They have a good time. It is a very fast day. We get there, it starts at like 7:30 in the morning, and we're done by noon. So it's just like, boom, recess, boom, class, boom, recess, boom, class, boom, lunch, bye. Ding, 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 ding. And then you get home and you're starving and you're like, oof. And thankfully it's in the morning, and because sometimes here in Wisconsin, especially lately, and I mean like in the last 10, 15 years, it has gotten progressively too hot, too fast in my area. It used to be a much gradual warm up, but now it feels like it's winter one day and hot summer the next. Thankfully this year it was a little bit more gradual in that. However, with the Canadian wildfires that are happening, our last day of school with students yesterday, we have a whole ceremony where they have their concert, and then we give awards, and then we stand with streamers and we make a little tunnel, and then the teachers name off each student, and as they say the student's name, they run through the tunnel, and it's like they go outside on the playground. But yesterday it was such bad air quality. It was just really, 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 really toxic, and so we had to cut that short, and then we were like, will we even be able to have our all school recess where all the grades and all the teachers and everybody is outside and everyone's just kind of running around and just playing all over. It's sometimes intense, but thankfully, the DNR cleared the air, so to speak. They somehow the wind picked up and brought all the toxic smoke into a higher part of the atmosphere, and so we were okay to go outside, and we did get to have some of that all school recess. And then, you know, some kids aren't coming back, and there was lots of people sad about their own personal situations. One really tugged at my heartstrings, and I feel so sorry for them. They're not coming back next year, and they just love our school. I know a little bit about something. I know about leaving your schools. I went to 7 schools by the time I was a freshman in high school, and it was very, I'm getting verklempt. It was very hard for me, and I can imagine what it's like for them, because you have all your friends, and if you've been here your entire life and now you're leaving for your last year of grade school, it can be really, really challenging. I know things happen and parents do what they do, hopefully for the best, but sometimes you just have to make sacrifices and let your kids stay at the school that they're thriving at. It's just my opinion, and that's why my daughter went to 1 grade school, 1 middle school, and 1, hopefully, knock on wood, high school. After that, she can do what she wants. Anywho, now, I hope you are all having a good time. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking. And if you like more of this content, please click like and come back again and, you know, subscribe and all that fun stuff. But I am going to go for now because I am a little tired. I have been talking all day. It's been quite a long week, and I'm not done yet. So I hope everyone is enjoying their summer as much as I hope I enjoy my summer. Now, take care, have fun, bye for now.